The observance of this year's World Drug Day in Lagos became more than a ceremonial event as the Chioma Ajunwa Foundation transformed the occasion into a compelling call for national responsibility, urging Nigerians to confront the growing threat of drug abuse and illicit trafficking with renewed urgency. Held at the Police College, Lagos, the campaign conference was organized by the foundation in collaboration with the Consul General and the Chinese community in Nigeria, bringing together law enforcement officers, students, and public advocates committed to tackling one of the country's most persistent social challenges. Leading the campaign, the foundation's founder, Chioma Ajunwa, Africa's first female Olympic gold medalist and an internationally celebrated sports figure, described drug abuse as a national emergency whose consequences extend far beyond individual addiction. She argued that the crisis continues to erode families, fuel criminality, and diminish Nigeria's global image, making it a responsibility that demands collective action rather than isolated invention. Ajunwa also reflected on more than a decade of sustained advocacy by her foundation, expressing disappointment that broader institutional support from governments and corporate organizations has remained limited despite the scale of the challenge. She called for stronger public policies and tougher sanctions against drug traffickers, maintaining that decisive action will significantly curb crime and other social vices. Representing the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the area officer commanding the Ports and Cargo Terminal, Tinkan Island Command, Eku Ukeria, reinforced the global theme, the world drug problem, persistent issues, new challenges, innovative responses. She stressed that evolving trafficking networks require equally innovative responses from government institutions, communities, and private citizens. She also commended the Chioma Ajunwa Foundation for sustaining a people-driven campaign that combines drug awareness with broader humanitarian support for vulnerable communities. Adding a legal perspective, Barrister Ngozi Arinza encouraged the students in attendance to build friendships that inspire excellence, make wise life choices, and resist the lure of substance abuse, describing those decisions as the foundation for a healthier and more purposeful future. In line with the vision of the foundation to reach out to the less privileged, food items and gifts were distributed accordingly.
The youth of Nigeria so much, and I don't want them to fall a victim I felt while I was competing as an athlete. That is why I always want to let them know, want to remind them consistently that cutting corners doesn't pay, and drug has been one of the things that is eating so deep in the fabrics of our nation, in fact globally. So it's everybody's business anyway, and I choose it as a thing that I need to be doing in order to give back to the society that made me. The government of Nigeria should remember that anything drugs, illicit drugs, either drug abuse or trafficking, has been costing them a lot, has been putting their name in a bad space. So they should try to be part of this by encouraging we that look at it and said no, that we can't continue in this form. So all the private companies in Nigeria should look towards this. In any Western world, they always, support those that are campaigning against the use of illicit drugs because they know what is causing them.
Yes, I am very humbled to be here. I really appreciate what Chioma is doing. When I was told that I'm going to come here, I didn't know it's in this magnitude. I am humbled with what I've seen today. Chioma, just as I told you when I was talking, I call her Adadi Oramma of Igbo land. So she has touched life. I've seen a lot of provisions that is going to some people. I am very, very happy. And today being the day, we are celebrating World Drug Day, the International Day against drug abuse and illicit trafficking. And the theme of the year that said world drug problem persists. Challenges and increasing responses or innovation for the increase. So today we are talking about the increase in the problem. Many people are still going into drug. Many crimes are being committed under the influence of God, which pose a threat to our security and to our development.
So first of all, we thank God for God giving Chioma life to be around today to impact on our youth. Looking at her, you've known how long or how far she has come to this level. From the humble background as a police officer to Olympian. You understand where I'm going. Then you talk of this thing we're doing today. It's rare to see this kind of a thing. But Chioma look at it it's worth doing. She has done it before. Last year we were at Sulere Stadium, National Stadium, where we saw lots of youth being impacted. The effects of drug in our society today. You see young children of school age doing the opposite of what they send them to school to do. Like yesterday, I saw one picture, a young guy is looking at dirty water. He dived inside the water. He came up again, he dived inside it again. You can imagine that under normal circumstances, he wouldn't have done that. But Chioma, being as wise as, do I say serpent, knowing the effects of drug today in our society, deeming fit to have a foundation that will look at the society at large, pick up these children, tell them, don't do it. But if we find out the ones that have started doing, she has a place where she can call upon for these children to be reactivated.